Hi you guys, thank you for tuning into Active Club. My name's Kevin and I'm here to take you through a 30-minute energizing yoga flow. To start things off, you can use blocks in your practice of course, or you can do without. We're gonna bring ourselves to a seated posture, whether that's a kneeling stance or a cross-legged seated position, and work through a few rounds of breath of fire. Breath of fire is controlled through your diaphragmatic breath, and it's deeper compressions and usage of your core and your midsection to exhale, force the breath out. You'll find that the breath is nice and controlled and little moments of inhale. So I'll give you an example. It sounds like this. Keeping the mouth closed, quicker opportunities of breath, and we're gonna take 30 seconds of breath. This is just to help circulate the blood and oxygen through the body, really get us ready to go. When you're ready, take a nice inhale breath to prepare. Nice exhale breath out. And start working through your breath of fire. "15 more seconds. Five, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Take a nice inhale breath. Reach your hands out around and up. Exhale breath, bring the hands down. Good, now switch to your tabletop position. Shoulders stacked over your wrists. Hips stacked over your knees. Add a little movement side to side through your hips. Get a deeper sense of how things are feeling through your body. And then shifting to our sit bones, once again, crossing at the ankles, sit bones come down, lengthen out your legs, and shift to a figure 4 stretch. So starting with your right foot, you're gonna bring your right foot over the top of your left knee. Keep the toes flexed, that's what's gonna help protect through the knee here. Press down through your hands, draw your sit bones closer towards your heels, and you can determine how deep you take this stretch. The closer your booty is towards your heel, the more you're gonna feel this. The further away, the less intense. Then once you find that perfect spot, you can rock this side to side, feeling into these hip swivels. You can always walk your hands in to heighten the length of your spine and also deepen the compression. And I love this because you can always determine how much you need. You can always back off or take it deeper. To get yourself out of this, just lengthen through that left leg, plant down through the right foot. Let's go ahead and switch sides. Remember that nice flexion through the toes, just to protect the knee. Draw your sit bones closer towards your heel. And if you're like me, my left side's a little bit tighter than my right, so just be gentle with yourself. Take your time, there's no rush. Good work. When you're ready and feel balanced through this side, go ahead and press down through your hands, draw the hips back, lengthen out through both legs, give a nice paddle out through the knees, and then let's go ahead, cross at the ankles, plant the hands down, back to tabletop. Using your next inhale breath, draw the belly down, lift the tailbone, lift your gaze, and then exhale, tuck the tailbone, round it out through the spine, draw your gaze in. Inhale, belly drops, gaze lifts. Exhale, round it out. Taking just a few more here. Good, coming back into your tabletop. Now shifting to a supported side plank. Kick your right foot off to the right. Left foot reaches back behind and lift up through the left fingertips. A little bit of glute engagement here from that right glute. Fingertips lifting nice and high. We're just gonna add a few windshield movements through the arm. So reaching it around. Taking it in whichever direction feels best. Just create some balance. Planting down through the left hand, back to tabletop, switching sides. Left foot kicks off to the left, right leg reaches back behind. Feel into those right fingertips reach. And then adding that movement. Your gaze can face in any direction that feels best, whether you follow your hand or keep your gaze in one direction. back through center. One more time, just feeling that rock through the hips, maybe a little movement back and forth. Starting to feel a bit more intuitive with your body. Then when you're ready, lengthen out the arms a little bit deeper, toes tucked underneath your feet, send it up to downward dog. Now, since this is the first downward dog of class, I just want you to feel into the length of your hamstrings, length of your calves, pedal out through your feet, your toes, sway the hips, whatever feels best. And then separate the feet a little bit wider here. Separate the hands a little bit wider as well. Now, as you're pushing down through your hands, act as if you're physically pushing the ground away from you. Take a little lift of the left fingertips, reach down and under, grip your right ankle or your right shin, adding a little bit of twist. Challenging those stabilizers a little bit, working through the midsection, feeling into that overall shoulder space. Inhale, breath, reach it back through center, and shift sides. Exhale, right hand gripping towards your other ankle. Remember to breathe here. Anytime the head is below the heart, we want to make sure we're deepening that inhale breath. Go ahead, separate the hands. Feet come a little bit closer together. Getting into the first part of our sequence with an inhale, right leg lifts. Three-legged dog. And then with an exhale, hug your right knee in towards your chest. Plant your right foot in between your hands. Now, as you start to find your runner's lunge, you can use your blocks if you have them, bringing a little bit more height to your torso. Keeping your right knee stacked over your right ankle, lifting through the back leg. Now imagine that you're using one of these blocks, holding it in between your legs. So energetically drawing that energy to the center of your body. Feeling that little lift through the pelvis. Now from here, shifting into our Shiva squat. We rock our body forward, hug the knee back in towards the calf as we round it out. And then inhale to our warrior three stance. Keep the hands down. As you feel into that warrior three, rather than locking this out through the knee, feel a little bit of that bend. Pressure is down through the heels, so you're squeezing through your glute. You can point or flex through the left toes, whichever feels best. And then adding a few toe taps, keeping this nice and balanced. Exhale, lower down, tap the toe. Inhale, bringing it up. Exhale, lower down, tap. Inhale, lift. Two more. Holding that leg at the very top. Now adding a little pulse through your heels, squeeze your glute. I want you to feel your thigh, that top portion of your hamstring, bottom portion of your glute. You're welcome, new vocab word. One more, beautiful, and then exhale back to Shiva squat. With an inhale breath, lengthen back out to your warrior three. Now, listen carefully, we're moving super slow here. We use the exhale, rounding through the body, hug the knee in towards the chest, and we bring ourselves up to staff pose. Pushing down through the heel, lifting through the leg, fingertips reach. Hug the core in, soften the shoulders down. From staff, sinking this down into chair pose. Planting down through your left foot, sink it down. As you feel into that chair stance, just let your hips gently sink back. Maybe you add a little bit of a tailbone tuck to help lengthen through your spine. Keep the weight back into your heels. You should be able to lift all 10 of those toes. If not, just feel your hips sinking a little bit further back. Maybe melt your chest down closer towards that diagonal. We're gonna work through a little bit of balance here, taking that same staff pose, but switching and alternating sides. So working through marching. With an inhale, right knee begins to lift. And exhale, sink it down. Inhale, left knee. And exhale. Right. And down. Left. And down. Hold it here. Now let's take the hands out and away from us. We're gonna use the breath, really using the power of our breath here. And we're going to Drop the hands as we exhale. Sink into it, and then inhale, reach out. Exhale, use the breath. Inhale, exhale, inhale. 3 more. Bring it out. Hands to heart center. I know your stabilizers are going to start to speak to you here. Those legs might feel a little shaky. Rather than letting your thoughts take over, tap into your breath. Now remember the marching that we did. We're going to do the same thing, but smaller movement, moving through the heels. With an inhale, left heel lifts and lowers. Right heel and lower. Keep moving. 2 more both sides. 1 more both sides. With an inhale, hands begin to reach out, around, and up. Exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift. Plant the hands, step it back, coming into your high plank. Hold it here. Push the ground away from you. Gaze staying down at the ground. Little tailbone tuck, encouraging that core usage. Maybe you add a little rock back and forth through your toes. And then when you're ready, downward dog. Pedaling out through your feet. Always feel free to take a moment to drink your water, dab yourself off if you're sweating. Always listening to your breath. Now shifting into that left side with an inhale, 3-legged dog, left leg lifts. And then exhale, hug the knee in towards your chest, plant this down through your left foot. Again, hands can come to those blocks, elevating through the chest, lifting through the torso, plugging the shoulders down, gazes in. Actively thinking of using that energetic lift through the pelvis, staying nice and grounded. You got this. Now keeping all of that weight balanced into that left foot, we transition to that Shiva squat. Take a nice inhale breath and exhale, Shiva squat. Inhale, warrior 3. Lengthen through that back right leg. So pointing through those toes, little bend through the left knee. And then we add those toe taps. Exhale, lower down. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. 2. And 1. With the next exhale, add those pulses up for 5. Smiles make things easier. 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale to your Shiva squat. Inhale, warrior 3. We transition once more to that staff pose. Hug the knee in, round it out through the body. Pressing down through your left heel. Bringing it up, fingertips reach. Starting to come into that marching stance. We sink it down. Switch to that other side. Sink it down. Other side. Good, let's take this 2 more times, both sides. Last time. And take it back down. Same thing with the marching, but now using the hands. We'll transition to those heels afterwards. Hands lift. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Last time. Hands reach back to heart center. Left heel. Right heel. Left heel. Right heel. Body's feeling a little bit warmer. Last time. Good. Take that inhale breath. Hands reach out, around and up. And exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift. Plant the hands, step it back. Coming into that high plank. Maybe adding a little bit of that movement here. This time, working through our chaturanga. So as you take your next exhale, rock your body forward, then bend through the elbows, drawing it down to a halfway place. Tops of the feet down, upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Pulsing out through your heels. Now keep maintaining and holding that. As we move through the sequence again on both sides, rather than the repetition in the movement, we take one round of each movement. So that alternating marching, toe taps, hip pulses, etc. We just move through it one time to create balance through both sides. So as you're feeling into that downward dog, stay lifted. Let's find breath to movement here with an inhale, right leg lifts. And plant your right foot. Inhale to that Shiva squat. And exhale into that warrior three stance. Nice inhale breath as you lower to tap. Exhale breath as you lift and pulse. And then inhale, draw it back to that Shiva squat. Send it back out. Bring it in. Take this to staff. Woo. Sink it down. Shift sides. Sink it down. Shift sides. Exhale back down to that chair. Extend the hands. One round. Inhale. Bring it down. Left heel lifts. Right heel lifts. And mountain pose. Forward fold. Halfway lift. Plant the hand, step it back, move through your chaturanga. Left side leg lifts and plant it down. Shiva squat, warrior three. Toe tap, heel pulse, Shiva squat. Bring it through. And then hug the knee in towards the chest. Take that to staff pose. And sink it down. We march. If you're like me, I have this one sweat drop that was ready to just plunge into my eye. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, hands to heart center. Heel lift, lower. Lift, lower, mountain pose, and forward fold. Halfway lift, chaturanga, send it back and down. Pedal this out through the feet. Again, listening to your body, using everything that's in control. That's in your control. So using your breath, lengthening through your spine, feeling the pressure and the grip of the hands beneath you. And then with an exhale, go ahead, soften this down to your knees. If your body is craving a little bit more, feel free to pause the video, take yourself through a few more rounds. Or feel free to rewind and take yourself through if you need my cues to take you through it. Go ahead and just pause here for a moment, letting your body rock side to side. Shoulders shrug up towards your ears. Draw the shoulders back and down. Shoulders shrug up. And back and down. One more time. And exhale. Tabletop position. Little rock side to side. Good. Taking a half pigeon pose here. We're gonna hug that right knee in towards the chest. Kick your right foot off to the left. Left leg reaching back behind. As you feel the left leg reaching back behind, you can use those back toes to determine how wide you take the stance or how narrow you take the stance. As you feel into that nice comfort, draw the right hip back, left hip forward, gaze is lifted. And then with an exhale, melt your chest down, sinking into that right glute, come down to the forearms. Feel your breath here. Always feel free to add a little movement or a little adjustment wherever it may be. If you know that it feels good to lengthen the arms, to melt your chest a little bit closer down towards the ground, go ahead and do it. If the hands need to be higher as well, same thing, go ahead and do it. There are some days where your body is going to be more mobile. Sometimes your body needs a little bit more of that relaxation. There is no harm, no foul in listening to what your body needs. Controlling the breath. As you find your next inhale breath, lifting this up, plant the hands, separate the hands a little bit wider than hip distance. Back toes tuck underneath, push down, lift the legs into three-legged dog. Maybe add a little bit of movement through your leg here, just creating some of that circulation. It can be a roll through the ankle, a pulse through your leg, planting the right foot down. Undulate the spine, tuck the tailbone, roll yourself through, lower down that right knee, hug the left knee in towards your chest, kick the left foot off to the right, sinking this down into that half pigeon pose. Now, the closer your heel is in towards your pelvis, the less intense this will feel. The further the heel is away from your pelvis, the more of that stretch you'll get. So totally determine what feels best in whichever hip. And again, you can mirror the body or just mirror the sensation. Hug the left hip back as the right hip draws forward. And again, my left side tends to be a little bit tighter than my right, so just being super mindful here. It's always good in a sequence to recognize your breath. In moments where we're moving a little bit quicker, asking more or demanding more from our body, we'll feel that intensity of our breath shift, and that's our sympathetic system. That heart rate increase, that body's adrenaline, that effort that you're putting in, to then coming to these moments where we slow the breathing down, tapping into our parasympathetic nervous system, letting that body release itself of tension, letting your mind come to a place of ease. So just acknowledge it's good to train our bodies to shift between these moments of activity and moments of calm. Especially because what we practice here allows us to take it to the practice of life beyond our mats. In moments that cause frustration, in moments where you have perpetuating thoughts, maybe you're feeling a little anxious, when your body starts tapping into that response, that sympathetic response, to check back into your breath, to connect with your heartbeat, to slow things down. When you're ready, you're gonna sink this down into the left hip, swing that right hip forward, right foot comes forward, both legs lengthen, and just pedal out through your feet. As your sit bones are planted, lengthen through your spine, fingertips lift, and exhale, hinge at the hips, draw it down to a forward fold. As you feel into that forward fold, really lead with your heart space. Take a moment, lift your chest halfway, lengthening through your spine. Now imagine that you're leading with your heart, hinge at the hips, take your heart down, let this come down. Finding your breath shifting to the backside body, staying soft through your neck and through your shoulders. With an inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release the bind, sitting this up. Bend through your knees. And just like we did at the beginning of class, drawing our hips a bit closer towards our sit bones. Reach the fingertips forward, lengthen through the spine. Now really moving through the spine nice and slow. We're gonna plug the shoulders down, feel into that length, sit bones are grounded. With your next exhale, tuck your tailbone underneath. Starting to roll out through that lumbar spine. So it's like that cat pose that we did, but in a different stance. So now that we're feeling this, hold it halfway here. Obliques are gonna fire on. If you want, you can lift through the leg, just getting that deeper encouragement. Lift through the other leg. As you feel that connection to your midsection, take an inhale breath. Then exhale, roll it down even further, slowly starting to reach the fingertips, protracting those shoulders, chin drawing in towards your chest, slowly lowering this down. As the shoulders connect, let the fingertips lengthen. Lengthen out through your legs. Drawing your hands down by your sides. Maybe a little movement through the legs here. Hug both knees in towards your chest. Give yourself a nice squeeze. Little rolls through the ankle. Point and flex through your toes. And then using that deeper pressure from your hands, bending through the elbows, hugging those knees in a little bit more. Feel your tailbone gently curl up and towards your ceiling. And then relaxing the tailbone down. One more time. Releasing this down through the feet. Letting the hands soften down by your sides. If you need a little bit more movement before settling this down, feel free to do so. You can take that reclined waterfall pose, happy baby, reclined butterfly, whatever feels best. Making any shifting or adjusting through your neck and through your shoulders. Leveling out through your hips. Feeling that connection through the shoulder blades, down through the hips. Enjoying that rise and fall of your belly. And again, just feeling that steadiness, that control. See if you can soften through your forehead. Let your eyes get heavier through the sockets. Relaxing through your jaw, through your cheeks. Maybe open the mouth wide. Shake the jaw side to side. Enjoy the rise and the fall of your chest, of your belly. Relax through your glutes, your quads, shins, calves, feet fall towards either side. Know that this moment is about you. It's always been about you. So just taking this opportunity to really feel into the sensations that you feel throughout your body, that connection to your breath. Maybe notice your mind a little bit more in that peaceful, calm state. You determine the length of how long you want to be here. And when you're feeling ready to bring yourself up, slowly start to wiggle the fingertips, wiggle the toes, hug one knee in towards your chest, then letting the other meet. Curling up into a little ball, start to rock your body back and forth. Bring yourself to that upright seated posture, and you are done. Again, take as long as you need in the moments that you want to. Feel free to repeat it a few more rounds. Add anything to turn up the intensity. And I hope you begin your day, take on the day, however feels best. Thank you again for tuning in. Again, my name is Kevin. We'll see you on your mat next time.